In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these coins so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar holds a place of interest in the world of numismatics, not just for its design and its minting, but also for the significant historical context surrounding the year it was produced. This quarter is part of the United States' transition in its coinage, following the major changes that took place with the Coinage Act of 1965. In 1965, the United States was in the midst of a significant shift in its coinage. The government was facing a coin shortage due to the rising cost of silver. This shortage was partly due to increasing silver prices and the need for more circulation of coins. The 1965 Washington quarter was minted without silver, making it one of the first quarters to contain no silver. For the first time in U.S. history, the 90% silver content of the quarter was replaced by a copper-nickel composition, a drastic change that would be a significant milestone in coinage history. Before this shift, the Washington quarter, which was designed in 1932 by sculptor John Flanagan, had been made of 90% silver. But with the 1965 Washington quarter, the silver content was removed in favor of copper-nickel, resulting in a drastic reduction in the intrinsic value of the coin. In addition to this significant change, this was the beginning of a coin shortage, which resulted in more of these coins being minted than ever before. The minting of the 1965 Washington quarter was undertaken in high numbers, leading to a greater supply of these coins in circulation. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar. Without the mint mark, is known for its unique history and rarity in certain conditions. In today's market, the coin's value is contingent on its condition. For a coin in circulated fine condition, you might expect a market value around $93,400, but its worth increases if it is found in higher grade conditions. Coins in excellent condition or those with rare minting errors can fetch much higher prices at auction. The absence of the mint mark is key, as it makes the coin more interesting for collectors. Typically, coins that lack a mint mark are considered rarer and sometimes even more valuable, especially for those who are keen to collect unique varieties. As for error coins, there are reports of some 1965 Washington quarters with design or striking issues that can push the value up significantly. Collectors look for die cracks, double strikes, or other anomalies that make the coin one of a kind. When an error coin surfaces in good condition, it can see a premium market price at auctions, often exceeding the $100 mark. The design of the 1965 Washington quarter remains mostly unchanged from its earlier iterations. On the obverse, the coin features a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, facing left. This iconic image was created by John Flanagan in 1932 and continues to grace the coin to this day. The reverse displays an eagle in flight, a symbol of freedom and strength, with a banner stating "E pluribus unum, out of many one." This eagle is a representation of the strength of the United States and has been a staple on U.S. coins for many years. The 1965 Washington quarter does not carry a mint mark, unlike many other quarters minted in this period. The absence of the mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which added a unique characteristic to the coin's desirability among collectors. The fact that the coin is made from a copper-nickel alloy instead of silver also makes it a unique part of American coinage history, as it was one of the first U.S. coins to move away from using silver content in its production. Collectors have long been interested in the 1965 Washington quarter for its historical significance and the pivotal role it played in the U.S. coinage transition. The coin's relatively high mintage numbers make it common in lower grades but scarce in higher grades and certain variations. This combination of availability and uniqueness fuels continued demand among collectors, especially those focusing on coins from the 1960s. Special interest is particularly focused on the silver-clad proof versions, which were produced in limited quantities and mark the end of an era in American coinage. Error versions of this coin, such as those with double dies or other misprints, have garnered attention in the marketplace, with certain examples fetching considerably higher prices. For collectors who specialize in the Washington Quarter series, The 1965 Washington quarter dollar, with its particular design and historical context, is often seen as a must-have coin in their collection. Its transition to copper nickel also reflects the broader H. Next up, we have the 2008 New Mexico commemorative quarter dollar, a coin that beautifully commemorates the state of New Mexico's entry into the Union in 1912. As part of the United States Mint's 50-state quarters program, this coin holds both historical significance and an enduring appeal to collectors. The 2008 New Mexico commemorative quarter dollar was released as part of the final year of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The program was designed to honor each of the 50 U.S. states, with 5 new state-themed quarters being released every year. The New Mexico quarter, which was released in 2008, pays tribute to New Mexico's entry into the Union as the 47th state on January 6, 1912. The state's rich cultural heritage and landscape are beautifully represented on the coin. New Mexico's history is intertwined with a unique blend of Native American, Hispanic, and Anglo influences, and this coin embodies these influences. It serves as a reminder of New Mexico's cultural heritage and the state's significance in the broader American narrative. The quarter features an image of the Zia sun symbol, a well-known symbol in New Mexico's culture, with rays radiating out in a geometric pattern. Above this image, there is an inscription of New Mexico, along with the date 1912, to commemorate the year New Mexico joined the Union. This quarter is significant not only because of its design, but also because it represents the culmination of the entire 50-state quarters program. The 2008 New Mexico commemorative quarter features the Zia sun symbol, which is closely associated with the Native American Zia people of New Mexico. This symbol represents the sun's rays and the sacred number 4, which holds cultural significance in many Native American traditions. The rays of the sun radiate in 4 directions, representing the 4 cardinal directions, the 4 seasons, and the 4 stages of life. The Zia symbol is placed prominently on the reverse side of the coin, with the inscriptions New Mexico and 1912 at the top and bottom. On the obverse, the quarter features the standard portrait of George Washington, which has been used on the Washington quarter since 1932. This portrait is surrounded by the familiar inscriptions of Liberty in God We Trust and the year of minting 2008, as well as the mint mark. In this case, P for the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse design represents the beauty and cultural diversity of New Mexico and has made this coin particularly popular among collectors interested in the State Quarters series. The 2008 New Mexico commemorative quarter dollar had a mintage of around 350 million coins across all versions circulating, proof, and uncirculated. While the large mintage means that many coins are available for collectors, this coin is still valued highly in good condition. A 2008 New Mexico quarter in fine condition typically holds a market value of about $10,000, but those in better grades, such as uncirculated, are worth significantly more. The real value of this coin comes from its status within the 50-state quarters program, a program that saw massive interest from collectors worldwide. The New Mexico quarter has a unique charm due to its design and the broader program's popularity. Errors, such as misprints, double strikes, or other unusual variations, can push the value of this coin significantly higher. Certain errors are particularly prized by collectors, making the 2008 New Mexico quarter a great example of how error coins can carry considerable market value. Collectors who specialize in state quarters are particularly drawn to the 2008 New Mexico quarter due to its design, historical relevance, and cultural significance. As the last coin in the 50-state quarters program, it holds a special place in the hearts of many collectors who have completed or are in the process of completing their collections of all 50 states. Additionally, the incorporation of the Zia sun symbol adds a layer of cultural and aesthetic value to the coin, making it a favorite among collectors who appreciate Native American symbolism and regional representation. The popularity of the 50-state quarters program has made these coins highly sought after, and the 2008 New Mexico quarter is no exception. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter is often overlooked by casual collectors who focus more on earlier coins from the 1930s or the more recent bicentennial coins. However, this particular coin, the 1966 large date with a D erased error, mint mark, holds a significant place in numismatic history due to the combination of its rarity, error, and the role it plays in showcasing a fascinating aspect of coin minting during the 1960s. In the 1960s, the U.S. Mint was facing a high demand for coin production due to the rapid economic expansion and the increasing circulation of coins. The Mint was tasked with producing millions of coins for the national economy, which meant that errors like the de-erased error on the 1966 Washington quarter occasionally occurred. This error is attributed to a malfunction during the minting process when a previously struck D mint mark, indicating Denver as the production facility, was unintentionally erased or altered, resulting in a coin that would otherwise appear as though it had no mint mark or a misplaced mark. Coins struck in Denver carry the D mint mark, while those from Philadelphia do not. The de-erased error on the 1966 coin makes it extremely rare, as the mint mark was either erased or damaged during the minting process, resulting in a coin that lacks the visible D, but retains all other standard features. The mintage of the 1966 Washington quarter was over 400 million, making it relatively common in circulation. However, the 1966 large date with the de-erased error, mint mark, is a rare variant that stands out among the standard coins. Despite the widespread production of these quarters, this specific error is considered one of the most sought after due to its scarcity. In terms of market value, the 1966 Washington quarter with the de-erased mint mark, in fine condition, can fetch significant prices at auction, often ranging from $200,000 depending on the specific condition, provenance, and the rarity of the error. Higher-grade specimens with additional features or better preservation can demand much higher prices. Collectors of error coins, or those seeking to add an unusual piece to their collections, are particularly interested in acquiring this coin. Errors like the de-erased mint mark are highly prized by collectors who focus on error coins, as these provide unique insights into the minting process and showcase the imperfections that occur when mass production meets technical limitations. The de-erased error on the 1966 Washington quarter is a prime example of such a rare mistake that adds value to an otherwise common coin. Collectors have a deep fascination with minting errors, as they often tell a story about the time and conditions in which they were produced. Errors like this remind us that even in the production of millions of coins, no two pieces are exactly the same. The de-erased error. Mint mark is a striking example of the unpredictable nature of coin production, and it remains a key item for serious collectors. Next up, the Washington quarter from 1997, although not part of any particularly special series or year, has become highly valuable due to its unique characteristics and growing collector interest. The Washington quarter design remained largely unchanged since 1932, but by the late 20th century, the U.S. Mint had adopted modernized methods of production, including advances in automated processes that minimized errors. However, as with all coin minting operations, imperfections still arose. In particular, the 1997 Washington quarter with a large date and a P mint mark is notable for its increased demand among collectors, especially those seeking high-quality coins in fine condition. The 1997 Washington quarter features the traditional design, with George Washington's portrait on the obverse. The reverse features the eagle, a staple of the Washington quarter series. Unlike earlier quarters, which had the standard D mint mark for Denver, coins struck in Philadelphia during this period were marked with a P, making the 1997 quarter particularly identifiable. The large date variation from 1997 refers to a difference in the size of the numerals used in the date. The large date variety has been identified as a key distinguishing feature among collectors. The 1997 large date with the P mint mark stands out because it showcases both a variant in design and a distinctive place of production that collectors are eager to add to their collections. The mintage of the 1997 Washington quarter was substantial, as it was produced for general circulation. However, due to the unique features of the 1997 large date with the P mint mark, This coin has risen in value. Quarters from Philadelphia, especially in fine condition, are highly coveted in the modern coin market, and the 1997 piece has grown in popularity among collectors seeking to fill gaps in their collections. The market value of the 1997 Washington quarter with a large date and P mint mark in fine condition is generally between $50,000. While not as high as some rarer quarters from earlier years, its value has steadily increased as interest in 1990s era coins has grown. Factors such as the coin's condition, market trends, and collector interest drive the price upwards. The 1997 Washington quarter is not typically associated with significant minting errors like those found in earlier decades. However, its value lies in its unique features, including the large date variety and the Philadelphia mint mark, which makes it an important piece for collectors focused on Washington quarters. The increasing scarcity of high-quality examples from this year further fuels its desirability. Collectors of modern quarters, especially those focusing on specific mint years and varieties, have shown growing interest in this coin. While it may not carry the same error-based allure as older coins, the 1997 large date with a P mint mark has earned its place as a valuable coin in the modern market. Next up, the 1995 silver Washington quarter dollar stands out as an essential coin in the numismatic world. Known for its historical significance and impressive design, this coin was minted as part of the United States' ongoing production of the Washington Quarter series, which has become one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. The 1995 silver Washington quarter dollar is a significant piece for collectors, particularly when it features the D mint mark, which signifies that the coin was minted in Denver. The quarter was produced as part of the Washington Quarter series, a series that was introduced in 1932 to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington. This series continues to be one of the most popular in American coinage, and the 1995 coin adds a special layer of interest due to its precise historical timing and unique market position. The Washington quarter dollar has a rich legacy. First introduced in 1932, the design, which features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse, was created by artist John Flanagan. The reverse features an eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom, though in later years the design was altered with various commemorative changes. However, as far as the 1995 coin is concerned, it remains fairly consistent with the original design, with minor adjustments over the years to reflect modern minting processes. In 1995, the U.S. Mint produced a regular circulation quarter that was 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This combination created a sturdy coin for daily use, and unlike some previous years, this coin was not part of a commemorative series. It was a regular, everyday coin minted for circulation. But here's the twist. While the regular circulation coin is common, there are particular attributes about the 1995 coin with the D mint mark that makes it interesting to collectors. The mintage numbers for the 1995 quarter are significant when compared to other years. The total number of quarters minted in 1995 reached over 1 billion coins across all denominations and mint marks. However, the D mint mark, specifically for the quarter, was produced in Denver, and it had a smaller mintage compared to the other mint locations, Philadelphia and San Francisco. This gives it a unique scarcity factor, even though millions were still produced. In today's auction market, a 1995 silver Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark in good condition can fetch a premium price depending on its quality and any unique characteristics it possesses. While many of these coins are still fairly accessible, some pieces have seen tremendous appreciation in value due to demand and the increasing number of collectors seeking high-quality pieces from specific years or mint marks. The general market value of a 1995 silver Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark in good condition hovers around $15,000 in auction prices. However, the value can shoot up if the coin is in near mint condition or shows certain rare features, such as a misstruck error or off-center designs, making the coin much more desirable. An important factor to consider is that while many of these coins are produced in relatively large numbers, 1995 silver quarters are still highly regarded for their silver content and the collector interest in obtaining pristine examples. Coins in this condition can also be subject to varying auction prices based on the collector's market dynamics. And if a specific error is present, such as a doubled die or die crack, this can drive the value into the hundreds of dollars. The design of the 1995 silver Washington quarter. Dollar showcases the timeless elegance of the original Washington quarter design. The obverse features an impressive portrait of George Washington, facing left, a design that remains virtually unchanged since its introduction in 1932. The inscription around Washington's portrait reads, "Liberty," along with the date 1995 and the phrase, "In God We Trust." This design element is quite significant as it represents the continued tribute to Washington, whose image remains central to American identity and legacy. Errors are a key feature in the world of coin collecting, and while the 1995 Washington quarter dollar isn't typically associated with major errors, some have made their way into the market over the years. For example, some 1995 quarters might have off-center strikes, doubled dies, or struck-through errors that make them valuable to collectors. These errors are crucial for driving up the value of an otherwise common coin. Additionally, due to the large number of collectors interested in completing their Washington quarter sets, there is a growing demand for the 1995 Washington quarter with specific mint marks like the D mint mark, especially those that are in exceptional condition. As the coin becomes increasingly harder to find in high grades, its value is expected to increase as well. Next up, the 1977 Washington quarter dollar is another fascinating example of U.S. coinage that has captured the attention of collectors, particularly when it features the large date design and is found in circulated fine condition. Released during a unique time in U.S. history, the 1977 quarter represents both the continuation of a long-standing tradition and the evolving minting process of the late 20th century. The 1977 Washington quarter is part of the ongoing Washington quarter series, which has been a fixture in U.S. currency since 1932. The 1970s were a time of significant economic change for the United States, as the country was experiencing high inflation rates, shifting political landscapes, and a general change in cultural dynamics. The quarter, like other coins from this era, reflects a time when coin designs and minting technologies were undergoing subtle shifts. The 1977 Washington quarter was produced at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, it's worth noting that in 1977, the Philadelphia Mint was still producing coins without a mint mark, making these coins highly sought after by collectors. Additionally, this coin features a large date design, which differentiates it from other years, making it a unique find for those seeking to complete their collection of Washington quarters. While the 1977 quarter was produced in large numbers, with over 500 million coins being minted, it remains a critical piece for collectors to track down, particularly in fine circulated condition, which is defined as having visible wear but retaining the key design features of the coin. In today's market, the value of a 1977 Washington quarter with a large date and no mint mark in circulated fine condition can be fairly modest, but this doesn't mean it's insignificant. Typically, such a coin can fetch anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 depending on the quality of the coin, whether there are any errors, and how much demand exists within the current collector's market. It's important to note that auction values for coins like the 1977 Washington quarter can fluctuate significantly. If you're able to find a coin in exceptionally good condition, or one with unique qualities such as a high-grade coin, the value could easily rise into the $56,000 range. However, this type of appreciation is largely dependent on the current market trends and the rarity of specific coin qualities. For collectors, the 1977 Washington quarter is particularly intriguing because of the large date design. This design was not used for all quarters from the year, creating a degree of rarity for those with the large date. Coins with notable errors, such as die cracks or struck-through marks, are of particular interest to collectors, and such errors can substantially increase the market value of a coin. As with many coins from the late 20th century, the 1977 Washington quarter is prized by collectors looking to complete full sets of Washington quarters or other related collections. Even in circulated fine condition, this coin holds significance due to its place in the broader context of American coinage and its continued demand on the secondary market. Next up, the 1984 Washington Quarter Dollar, part of the ongoing series minted by the United States Mint, was never meant to be anything extraordinary. It was intended to circulate as a standard coin, carrying the legacy of George Washington on its obverse and an eagle on its reverse. However, a rare minting error has elevated this coin to legendary status in the coin collecting world. Today, a coin with a large date error and an additional mint mark error is considered one of the most valuable quarters from this era. The Washington Quarter Dollar series began in 1932 as a tribute to the first president of the United States, George Washington. For decades, these coins were issued annually with minor variations, such as different mint marks and designs. The 1984 coin, like other quarters in this era, was issued as part of the standard circulation set. It featured the traditional George Washington portrait on the front and on the reverse, an eagle in flight, with olive branches in its talons, a symbol of peace and strength. In 1984, the U.S. Mint faced certain technical challenges and irregularities in production. During the minting process, a significant error occurred that resulted in some coins being stamped with a large date error. The large date was a subtle but noticeable alteration to the year, making it stand out more prominently than the standard version. This was not part of the original design, and the Mint made very few of these coins with the large date feature. Furthermore, some of the 1984 Washington quarters were mistakenly stamped with an error mint mark. Mint marks are crucial for identifying the coin's origin, whether it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, or San Francisco Mint. In this case, the error mint mark coins had incorrect or double mint marks, which further increased their rarity. The total mintage of the 1984 Washington Quarter Dollar was substantial, with millions produced across the various mints. However, the number of coins that feature both the large date error and the error mint mark is incredibly low, making these coins extremely rare. While the exact number of these error coins is unknown, estimates suggest that $100 exist in circulation today. Coins with mint errors are prized because they defy the precision typically associated with the U.S. Mint's production process. Collectors are always on the lookout for these anomalies, and when they surface, their value tends to skyrocket. The 1984 Washington Quarter Dollar with the large date error and the incorrect mint mark is no exception. These coins have been sold at auctions for several $1,000s, depending on the condition, sometimes reaching even higher prices. Let's talk a bit more about the design and how this error is visually identifiable. The Washington Quarter has been consistent in its design since 1932, featuring the left-facing bust of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan. The reverse depicts a bald eagle with its wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing the United States military and peaceful pursuits. The large date error itself is noticeable upon close inspection. The numbers in the year 1984 are spaced further apart than normal, with the 8 and 4 in particular standing out more prominently. It's a subtle but critical error that differentiates it from the standard minting. Additionally, the error mint mark could range from an extra mint mark to a completely incorrect one, such as a D mint mark, appearing on coins that should not have it. These double and misplaced mint marks can make a coin incredibly valuable due to their rarity. The market value of the 1984 Washington Quarter Dollar with a large date error and mint mark error fluctuates depending on the coin's condition. For coins in circulated condition, prices typically start in the low thousands of dollars. Coins in better grades, such as very fine or extremely fine, can command prices upwards of $10,000. The most pristine examples, graded by professional agencies such as PCGS or NGC, have seen auction prices soar to over $30,000. These values can vary depending on the current demand in the coin market. For collectors, finding a well-preserved version of this error coin is a dream, and it's often treated as a prized possession in any collection. The appeal of the 1984 Washington Quarter Dollar, with the large date and error mint mark, lies not only in its rarity but also in its story. Coins with minting errors are seen as anomalies of history, small mistakes that give the coin character and make it stand out in the world of numismatics. Collectors covet these coins for their uniqueness, their historical context, and the possibility that they might be the only one of its kind. As such, the 1984 Washington quarter dollar is highly sought after by both novice and expert collectors. Next up, the 1991 Washington quarter dollar is another remarkable piece in the U.S. Mint's long-running series. While it may not have the large date error or mint mark misprints that define the 1984 coin, the 1991 quarter still carries substantial value among collectors, particularly those in fine circulated condition. This coin, despite its ordinary appearance at first glance, has become a focal point in numismatics due to its mintage, design, and the market trends that followed its release. By the time 1991 rolled around, the Washington quarter dollar series had been in continuous production for nearly 60 years. The design had remained the same since the original coin was issued in 1932. However, the Washington quarter continued to be a key feature in the U.S. Mint's coinage programs, circulating alongside other denominations and reflecting both the values and changes in American society. The 1991 quarter saw the release of millions of coins into circulation as part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing efforts to meet the demands of the American public. While the coin was not specifically commemorative, it was an important part of the nation's coinage during the early 1990s. These quarters were released in large numbers, with minting operations carried out at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The 1991 quarter was struck in substantial quantities, with millions of coins minted across both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. The total mintage of the 1991 quarter was over 500 million coins, making it one of the higher mintage years in the Washington quarter series. Despite this high mintage, some versions of the 1991 quarter are still prized by collectors, especially those with unique features, such as the D mint mark. Coins from the Denver Mint are marked with a D mint mark, which denotes the coin's production location. This mint mark is often present on the 1991 quarters and can be a key feature when assessing the value of the coin. However, it's the quality and condition of the coin that ultimately determines its value. The 1991 Washington quarter dollar closely follows the design used since the coin's inception. On the obverse, George Washington's profile is portrayed with elegant detailing. His face and hair are skillfully crafted, making the coin instantly recognizable as a representation of one of the most influential figures in American history. The reverse, designed by John Flanagan, shows the American eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and strength. The coin's design may not have any drastic changes or errors like some of the other quarters in the series, but it remains an essential part of U.S. currency. The D mint mark on this particular coin is significant, as it distinguishes it from the Philadelphia minted versions, making it a desirable target for collectors. The market value of the 1991 Washington quarter dollar in circulated fine condition varies depending on its exact grade and overall appearance. Generally, these quarters are not as rare as some of the error coins or those with limited mintage, but they still hold value among collectors. In the range of circulated fine condition, the 1991 quarter can be valued between $20,000 depending on the coin's exact quality and its presence in specific collections. However, coins in higher grade conditions, such as extremely fine or MS-63, have fetched higher prices at auctions, with some reaching as high as $28,000. These coins are not as rare as others, but they still represent a key part of the Washington quarter legacy. Collectors of U.S. coinage tend to gravitate toward quarters from significant years, especially those that come from specific mints or exhibit unique characteristics. The 1991 Washington quarter dollar has generated interest not only because of its design and historical importance, but also because of its continuing role in American numismatics. Next up, the 1990 Washington quarter, the 1990 Washington quarter dollar, bearing the famous image of George Washington, is part of a long series of quarters struck by the United States Mint. These coins are distinct because they commemorate one of America's greatest founding fathers, Washington, who was also the first president of the United States. However, what makes the 1990 Washington quarter so interesting is not only its design, but its circulating condition and minting specifics, which has led it to become highly valuable in the numismatic market today. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to mark the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The 1990 coin was struck during a period of increased interest in coin collecting, especially among people looking for coins from the modern era that still held historical significance. The 1990 version was struck in the traditional copper nickel clad, with a silver content of approximately 90% for any coins that were issued earlier in the 20th century. However, by the 1990s, most quarters, including the 1990, were produced using a copper-nickel blend with a very thin layer of silver. The Washington quarter had been in circulation for decades by 1990, but by this time, the coin had evolved into a staple of American coinage, albeit with fewer notable design changes. For collectors, the 1990 quarter represents a key moment in the progression of the series. The coin's obverse features a portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. This classic image of Washington has remained largely unchanged for decades. The reverse showcases a majestic eagle, which symbolizes American freedom and strength. This design was created by the talented artist William H. Woodward and has been part of the quarter's imagery for generations. The mint mark D indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the key U.S. mint facilities known for producing a significant portion of the nation's circulating coins. The large date designation on this coin refers to the relatively larger numbers of the date on the obverse, a feature that can distinguish it from other similar coins minted in the same year. The 1990 Washington quarter had a significant mintage, with over 600 million pieces produced that year. However, it is important to note that the value of a coin in the numismatic market does not always correspond directly to its mintage. For example, coins that were struck in higher numbers but in unique or well-preserved conditions can see significant increases in their worth over time. In the case of the 1990 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, its value primarily derives from its condition in circulation and its collector demand. Though the 1990 quarter is generally considered a standard coin from the series, there are some errors that make specific examples more valuable. A known error for this particular year was a misalignment in the die used to strike some of the quarters, which caused some coins to have a slight off-center strike. These off-center coins can fetch a higher price in the market, and those with noticeable errors tend to stand out in collectors' collections. In the realm of modern coin collecting, there is significant interest in coins from the 1990s, especially Washington quarters from key years like 1990. In circulated condition, these quarters may not command astronomical prices, but those in well-preserved or higher-grade conditions can fetch thousands of dollars. Uncirculated coins, or those with higher grades, can sell for considerably more, particularly at auctions or from specialized coin dealers. The 1990 D Mint Mark quarter is highly valued for its potential rarity in exceptional condition. Coins in mint state grades, such as MS-65 or higher, are especially prized by collectors. As such, their prices can range $29,000 depending on how the coin is graded. Collectors often seek the 1990 Washington quarter as part of a broader collection of Washington quarters, either for its minting year or because it fits within a set of coins from that specific time period. These coins are a popular choice for new collectors due to their affordability and historical significance, making them valuable pieces for coin collectors both young and old. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!